Yay, people. I am the light. What's up, people? The light above me is the halo that I possess because I am the Jesus Christ of trading. I get a lot of emails wondering why I do this. What service do I provide? What's my angle? Suffice it to say, as that guy on CNBC would say, I'm here for the common good of the common man. I want to let people know that there is a person out there that's willing to give advice just for the sole purpose of helping people. Yeah, all that stuff. But the light is on my face. Feel me. It shines above me. I'll get some emails about why I don't make videos all the time. Well, sometimes I'm just way too depressed to make a video or just way too upset. For instance, coming in this morning and seeing Baidu gap below the price where I said that we should be shorting it if it breaks 180. Of course, they gapped it down. Thankfully, revenge and spite made me hit that for a short at the open. I made some money and I called it a day. The market gapped down and we haven't actually had a move up, which makes me believe that the market is not going to be going up for the next couple of days. What these big gains have done to us is just now we're going to be sitting around in a consolidation mode. The bulls and bears fighting it out. And all along, after a week's worth of pain of consolidating, that'll probably be best for the market for us not to go anywhere up or down. So try not to get your ass chopped up over these next 4 or 5 days until we figure out where the next decent move is going to be. Alright. Now another reason I don't make a video, and my grandma tells me I shouldn't talk about this, but I'm an ailment guy. Since 25, I don't know a thing about Jews. Once we break the 25-year-old threshold, everything in our body starts to hurt. And as a good Jew, I like to complain about it. Everything. My legs, my arms, my head, my ear, my stomach. Mostly my stomach. And I blame it on the industry. I blame it on the stress. And you guys are out there. We've gone through it all. Pepto, Tagament, Zantac, Prilosec, Prevacid. Whatever they got for antacids, for gas relief, I've taken them all. But there's something even more severe than that. And my grandmother, once again, tells me I shouldn't talk about this stuff on television. It's my ass. Alright? My ass is on fire. And I'm not talking about just like, ooh, it's a little burning sensation. There's actual flames shooting out of my ass. And I'm afraid to go to the doctor because I know there's something more troubling than I want to just even let on. I don't want anybody probing up my ass to see what's going on up there because I know they're going to find something awful. My grandmother also says you shouldn't talk about your ass because nobody wants to hear about my ass. And I said, Grandma, you know what? I'm on the internet. There's probably people out there that want to hear about my ass. And know what she says to me? She looks around. She's like, the gays? Are you talking about the gays? I said, yeah, Grandma. Because I've gotten some emails where people just, you know, they say some really, you talking about the gays? Yeah, the gays. Then she goes on to tell me, she's like, you know what? The black gays, they love little Jewish guys like you. How do you know that, Grandma? I don't understand. My grandma knows some facts and figures about stuff that you really don't think a grandma should know about. You mean the gays? The gays. I got an email. It was a still frame of my face with my mouth open, and somebody sent me an email saying I'd like to fill that hole. That's what I got to put up with, all right? So you want to know something. And so I'm growing this hair on my face because somebody suggested, hey, why don't we see what Crow looks like with hair on his face? And I'm all dressed up because I got some people coming in. Still, you know, I'm trying to pitch this show so we can keep it for free. It's the bandwidth that's going to kill us. In order to keep the website for free and have the streaming audio and the streaming video, it's absurd how much it's going to cost. For you guys to watch me, I got to pay. And I can't really afford that. But if somebody wants to pay for that, I have no problem with that, obviously. But right now, I need to know by sending me some emails is who's coming with me. Because the site is going to be some massive thing that it's going to be like Facebook meets, I don't know, the trading world. We're all going to have pages. We all can compare our portfolios, instant messaging back and forth. I don't want to talk too much about what it is because I'm sure somebody will steal my idea, just like they do everywhere else. Because everything gets stolen, and being a stand-up comic, which is what I'm going to be hitting the streets. I'm going to be hitting the streets again in about a few weeks. If you're in New York, I'm going to be doing some stand-up. the thing about stand-up comedy is there's a lot of you're considered a hack. Basically, if someone's heard your joke somewhere else because they think that you stole that joke from somewhere else. Now the thing is, I've accepted the fact that other people can write the same joke as I do. Because if we're all look at one thing, just like these charts in the stock market, we're all looking at the same chart. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If we all think that the stock's going to go low, if it breaks 104, it breaks 104, it goes lower because we're all thinking it's going to go lower, so it happens. Same thing with comedy. If we all look at something and we think it's funny, there's got to be 2 or 3 people out there that think of the same joke to go along with that emotion or reaction that you just took. Because my friend and I were just sitting there watching some television. We wrote the same joke about the same thing. And I said, there you go. That's the thing about me getting back up on stage. I know I've seen my jokes done on television, especially with Jay Moore, and I'm kind of pissed off about it because it's one of my favorite jokes because it goes right along the lines with the stress that I'm always under. Because my wife is always talking about I should go for massages, try to figure out ways of, relieving my stress. Barking it out is still guaranteed the best. If you don't know what barking it out is, and maybe you're new to the program, I went to a homeopathic guy, and we burned incense, did a little meditation, and I've been trying to investigate new ways of relieving stress. And I came up with this way of barking it out. Because if you bark, and I'm not talking about no rough kind of bark, I'm talking about German Shepherd chasing fucking Jews through Poland in 1940s. That kind of fucking barking, like that kind of shit. Like you gotta mean that. So you get the endorphins flowing. People just ask me, how come, you seem a lot more calm lately? It's because I barked that shit out. Bark that fucking shit out. So, what was I getting to, though, the point that I was trying to make? Stress relief and all that kind of stuff. Oh, massages. My wife tells me to go get massages. And I say, a massage is not very stress relieving to me, because the whole time I'm sitting there like, okay, all right, don't get hard, don't fart. Don't get hard, don't fart. An hour's worth of that, and my neck's all pinched up, trying to hold, and my butt cheeks are all clenched up so I don't blow wind in the person's face. And then I thought about it because I've always wanted to go for a rub and tug. If you don't know what a rub and tug is, that's when you go for a massage, and at the end, you get a little tug action called a happy ending. Called rub and tug, happy ending. And I tried to explain to my wife that it's a service. It's not an emotional thing. It's not like I'm cheating on my wife. But for me, it serves as a stress relief, not because I'm going to get a jerk at the end of the massage, is that if you're in that situation, knowing that it's okay to pop wood, and I'm sure that this woman that's giving me this rub and tug thing is kind of, she's had to get a couple of, blasts of fumes in her face from time to time, so that's a relaxing massage. I don't even need the rub and tug. Just knowing that I could pop wood and let some gas go during the massage without having any, stipulations behind it, that's relaxing, my friend. So like I said, if you're going to get a massage, you might want to try to find a place where it's freedom. Because right now I go in my underwear, I'm all tightened up and nervous. You don't need that in a massage. So anyway, back to the stock market if you're really caring about that. Consolidation. Consolidation sucks because we're going to gap one way and then we consolidate, gap the other way, and then we consolidate, basically go in a straight line. If you're brave right now, it's something called the short straddle. You take a stock that you think you found the range in and you sell a call at that price on the top of the range and you sell a put on the bottom of the range. So as long as it stays in that range, both sides of your option expire and you get to keep the money. Now remember, this is an extremely risky strategy, even though it makes sense when you look at a stock that's gone nowhere for a week and it looks like it's going to stay in that range. If it breaks out of that range, either you're going to get put that stock if it goes below the put price that you sold it at, and worst case scenario, if it starts breaking out, you're going to be short that stock at the strike price of the call that you sold. But if you're doing it on indexes like I do it on the call, on the Qs and the QLDs, and sometimes on the FAS, generally you're not going to have like a takeover. You don't want to do it on a stock because God forbid you're shorting $30 calls and the stock gets taken out at 40. Making the money on selling the $20 puts is not going to compensate for the 10 points or whatever you're losing on the call side. It's a strategy. We'll get into that some other time. Like I said, we're going to be once the website's done, we're going to be running options seminars. You'll have to sign up. You pay for the course. We're going to be live. We're going to have 3-step courses: beginner course, intermediate, and of course advanced. And it's all going to come together. And just send me emails if you want to know more information about how we're progressing here. And like I said, if you want to become a day trader, we're ready to rock. So let me know if you want to open an account because we're ready to go. See you later. and Bort.